It is what many experts deem the hardest thing to do in sports. The moment of contact when a bat strikes a ball lasts just 1/1000th of a second. So if you perfect your swing and can hit a baseball at the D1 college level, why would you want to go through the process all over again from the opposite side of the plate?
I wouldn't want to face lefty on lefty or righty on righty. I mean, it's completely, I can see the curveballs a lot easier, and it's a big advantage for me.
A righty pitcher holds the upper hand when he faces a righty hitter. Same goes for lefty on lefty. It makes it more difficult for the hitter to see the ball released out of the pitcher's hand. Switch hitting eliminates that edge by learning to bat from the right side against lefties and the left side against righties.
I mean, when I was younger, probably my freshman year in high school, my dad and I were in the cage messing around hitting and took some swings from the left side, and my dad thought that my swing looked pretty good, so I kind of stuck with it. I mean, I'm at a point right now in my career to where I'm comfortable from both sides of the plate.
It's done a lot of times either at a very early age, or in some cases maybe a guy can really run and he's not that good of a right-handed hitter, and they say, well, let's make you the left-handed hitter because a step or two closer to first base. Steven Perez switch hit for basically all his life, whereas Zeke learned later in life to be a switch hitter. So it wasn't something he did all the time. He did it because he can really run.
I think it's a big advantage. You know, you're getting to see more and more of the matchup game in college, especially late in the games where they'll rotate to the bullpen and they'll try to bring in a lefty against a lefty and a righty against a righty. And especially in our league, those guys are really good at executing pitches and make it tough on them, you know, with the breaking balls and expanding balls away. So anytime you can get a lefty that's facing a right-hander and then they bring in another lefty and he can switch around to go to the right side, it helps you because it's obviously more of an advantage for a hitter facing the opposite side.
Well, you think it's an advantage just because you feel like they can't come in and bring a left-hander to pitch against, you know, 3 left-handed hitters in a row. So it takes away that part of the strategy for the other team.
It seems like this is a down year. We only have 2 switch hitters in our lineup, but you know, I don't know if there's necessarily a reason for that. It's just a versatile thing you look for, and it's very attractive when you find a recruit that can do that. They can swing the bat both sides and be effective at it.
The UM program has recently featured star switch hitters, including first-rounders Jamal Weeks and Yasmani Grandal. Grandal was tops in the ACC, hitting .411 last season for the Canes, while mentoring the young switch hitters.
I learned a lot last year from Yasmani. He taught me a lot as far as switch hitting.
Sometimes as a switcher, you have one day that you feel better from the other side. Well, I mean, you can kind of see how Yasmani was, definitely. He made both days feel great.
Well, I'm not sure that we actually just seek out switch hitters, but if we see a switch hitter, we think it's definitely an advantage.
That's something that a lot of coaches and a lot of organizations look at, because that's a really valuable thing. If there's a right-hander throwing, then you're hitting from the left side. If there's a left-hander throwing, you're hitting from the right side. That's a very valuable aspect because you see the ball better. You know, batting left-handed against righties and batting right-handed against lefties, you see the ball better. So.
Switch hitting is a gold star on a hitter's resume, but it doesn't necessarily equate to success from both sides of the plate. Lance Berkman of the St. Louis Cardinals says that it is extremely difficult to be a switch hitter in the majors. In fact, Berkman said, if I could do it all over again, I would just bat left-handed.
Early on, when I just started switch hitting, I thought about that a lot, and I just had to push through and stick with it.
Well, the saying here is it's not half the work, it's double the work. So, you know, when our right-hander would come in the cage and get his swings in, our switch guys got to go as many swings as they get right-handed, they got to do the same thing left-handed. So it's double the work. It's tough.
Definitely, you have to be more patient. You just got to figure it out. You definitely got to take a lot more hacks because you got to work both sides. And just sometimes it's like you said, you're gonna feel better from one side than the other. But sometimes it works, you know.
Now Zeke's going to show us a few differences from batting on the right side of the plate compared to the left side of the plate. Show us, Zeke?
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, when you're on the right side of the plate, you know, my stance is somewhat similar from both sides. But when you're on the right side of the plate, you're mostly seeing the ball with your left eye. So switching over, it's kind of hard because when you switch over, you're seeing it with your right eye. So that's something that a lot of people have a hard time with. But you know, I feel like right-handed is that was what I originally was. So you know, I definitely feel a lot more comfortable from the right side of the plate.
So what did you first start at as you were a little kid? Which side of the plate did you hit on?
I was originally a right-handed hitter.
Okay, so naturally a righty, but then you learn how to be a lefty just as well as being a righty. Can you show me, though, the learning process for you in terms of seeing the baseball, in terms of getting your stance to be just as good from that other side of the plate?
Yeah, definitely. You know, I switched over probably, like I said, in 9th grade. I started hitting from the left side of the plate. And I think the hardest thing for me was just seeing pitches, because like I said, you're seeing it with your other eye. So you're going to be dominant right eye from the left side of the plate. And you know, I think the hardest thing for me was just seeing pitches and getting reps, and because that's the easiest way to learn is to just see live pitches. So you know, the hardest thing for me was to just get that down and to know what it feels like to see a pitch from the left side of the plate. So now I'm at a point where I feel comfortable from both sides of the plate.
It is a gold star on a hitter's resume, but there are very few successful switch hitters in Major League history. So is batting from both sides of the plate a dying art?
I still like swinging from the right side too every once in a while because I definitely wouldn't want to face some of those lefties out there.
I'm Scott Braun.